in that winner's side of Grand Finals. So he has not as much work cut out for him, especially because he just put this man into losers himself.
He did, but there was an entire match right there where Beedon defeated CD Manny, where Beedon had time to think about it. You know, he's like, well, you know, I lost that. What can I do differently? And honestly, a lot of it was just the fact that that fifth game was a real runaway for Predator. Predator, he got Beedon in the corner, pressured him until he was just had no hope. Oh, beating the armor with down one into Glyph. Very nice. And that should be a full punish for a lot of damage. He could go into the interactable. Oh, I think he may have tried, but unfortunately dropping the juggle just a little bit early.
Oh, okay. He's like...
It's like,
I don't really know what to say about that.
That looks like a fun bouncy ball. I'm gonna play with candy. That. He does it. He's like, that's not candy. And yeah, that hurt him a lot, obviously. So now, speaking of somebody running away with the game,
I like how I do that. Ooh, piece of kit. No, but seriously, that was painful.
That way, it definitely was. I mean, look at this life deficit. Predator just could make it back all right here. All right, what's the mix-up? 1-1-1 to be plus, and wow, just a reversal back two from Beedon. And the blast is gonna, no full conversion. He's just a little bit far. His forward three is one of the furthest reaching forward threes in the entire game. He actually isn't one of the characters that can guide it, but it still has insane range.
Really good reach up there with Poison Ivy as well. Hers goes really far, but look at this. Beedon wins, dominating the first game in the run back with himself and Predator.
Yeah, that is exactly what he needs if he wants to take that sort of momentum to win this entire set, to come back from losers. He, I mean, that's a statement, you know? He's like, oh, you know what? You bothered me that last game, but hold on. Let me show you I can do it too.
And he is choosing to use, I believe this is a different gear set. I'm not sure. Maybe that's all he needed, a different... Chain. No, actually I can't tell. I think
that's the same. It's pretty much sure that's the one he's been using. But as we all know, gear is the most important thing. You know, you don't counterpick with characters. You counterpick with gear.
You're not gonna fight well if you don't look good. You know what I'm saying? You gotta If you want to fight good, you gotta look good.
Oh, and this should be enough for the blast. Nice, it gets pressure. Oh, no, gets punished.
That's very dangerous. Again, that's how he lost so much of his life initially.
Oh, nice. Throws him back into the corner. Beedon still has pretty good life lead, and it's just increasing. Oh, that's actually a pretty good trade. Not able to get the conversion off of it, but not a terrible trade still.
Oh, meter burn. Oh, man, that was beautiful stuff. Meter burn roll into the back two conversion with the red glyph and trait. Had more to give, but Kenetic Predator was like, I've had enough, young man.
Yeah, he just wanted to get out of that corner, which is exactly what he did. A nice flip out. If you manage to do the flip,
timing's actually really tight on that.
It is, and that was the exact perfect moment so that he spent 2 bars, but he still also made Predator spend 1 bar. And one more glyph should be a good defensive option. He wasn't able to throw it out in time. And so he is going to lose the glyph as the life bars change.
Nice. Again, meter burn roll. Oh, he is going to get landed on, though.
Oh, what's the mix-up? Just goes in a throw, and that's going to give him the life lead. Predator always able to take that life lead back so fast. Nice. Not even
Superman did not get normalized in the damage department at all, so he still does a lot. I mean, there was a very slight, like I'm talking minute adjustment.
Yeah, like 5% or something like that. Ooh, wasn't able to get the full conversion. He did the wrong version, but still.
Oh, what a conversion! And Beedon takes 2 games over Kenetic Predator.
But that is the advantage of being in the winner's side of Grand Finals. Yeah, Predator could lose the next one for all he
could afford this.
He could switch to Joker, which actually, okay, well, that was obviously almost worked earlier today.
Yeah,
but
no, it did.
Yeah, he can switch to whatever character he wants, lose this next one, and then still be on even footing with Beedon.
Fighters approaching contact.
And it's always tough being in a position pre-reset when you're in winners and you're down 2-0. It seems like a very specific thing, but you know when any of these players has been around in the fighting community for long enough, you tend to see it happen. Wow, what a good anti. That was so high up. But the real question is, do you try your hardest? Because if you try your hardest and you're down, and say you win 2 more, and then your opponent resets on you, right?
Then you're out of
suddenly
juice.
you're like, you're like out of juice. You've already shown all of your cards. But if you just let this reset happen, then suddenly you're in a position where technically you have more games to drop before that, before anything's decided.
Yeah. Nice bait, or actually avoidance, I should say. Again, the conversion, that's almost going to kill.
400 damage. What a huge conversion off of an anti-air 1-1. Well, not even an anti-air 1-1, but it was an air juggle 1-1 is what I should say. As a punish. He knew exactly what to do in that situation.
Nice meter burn roll through. All gets tag turned into enhanced fireballs. Fate balls.
Oh, is that enough? Ooh, wow, that was actually not a good
That was a
flip
huge
out.
risk, because that was 2 bars of meter he now no longer has access to, and the result was the same.
Right, and I don't know exactly what he was trying to bait right there, but the meter loss is a big deal. Now he has 0 meter, but at least he has the screen positioning. Predator playing patient, but that trade is not good.
Oh, managing to avoid the third on.
He's just flying around avoiding all of them, and they do, of course, disappear after a certain amount of time.
Get hurt.
You cannot command fate.
I love the way that Fate's voice sounds in this game, though. Do not want to trade with that down back 3 straight laser from Superman, I promise you.
Oh, no, you do not. Oh, drops the combo that he needed for the kill, and this is immediately a terrible position. Oh, this should be unclashable. 4-3 again into a sides mix-up. Oh, the throw! What a good choice. That should be enough to kill. I mean, obviously, even I was looking at, hey, he needs to do the side switch mix-up, you know? He could have done a front or behind dive bomb, and the scaling wouldn't have been too huge because the combo itself was so short. But instead, going for the throw, going for the 3rd level mix-up, and putting himself on the board.
Superman.
1-2. Now, does what you were talking about earlier come into effect?
Approaching Gotham City.
That is the question. Does Predator show some of his cards here, lose potentially this game or the next game, get reset, and then have nothing else to show for the rest of the games?
Right, and we already have seen some different tools come out from him. We've seen him start using the down back 3s, which obviously were trading very well in his favor. We saw him with that very end clutch mix-up, and if that ends up happening again, you know, it's just now Beedon knows that it's an option, for better or worse.
True. Oh, and what a call out.
Meter burn back 3 and a meter burn forward 3. Wow, and Predator with the huge life lead this time.
So the thing that I've noticed most is that when Predator gets in the rhythm of kind of reading, oh, what a beautiful way to avoid the glyph.
Yeah, that was very, very smart, and Predator is really running away with this. So this looks like it might end up in that situation where it ends up being 2-2. And then Beedon winning would be a very, very big win, because then Predator would have shown so many of his cards, but obviously Predator winning would be the bigger win.
Yeah, but the biggest thing was the momentum and the fact that Kenetic tends to get the rhythm right of when Beedon wants to zone, and this is exactly what I'm talking about. He overextends with just his normal zoning tools, and then he gets destroyed by lasers.
Right, but that's just the way that Superman works, and a wake-up dash punch still working, even though it was made into a high.
Wow, that was a dominant game from Predator.
It was. That was, that corner became
Superman wins.
Beedon's
Right.
home.
Yeah. It became his tomb.
And so that means we're going to Game 5 pre-reset of Grand Finals, where Predator now just needs to win one more game. I mean, obviously at this point, he should go all out 100%.
Yeah.
Throw out every single thing he has. Because,
Down one into scoop, you know what I'm
oh,
saying? Like,
yeah, down one in his scoop, the god. I mean, there is nothing better than that. But then Beedon himself, he's got to make some huge adaptation, because the past 2 games
have been a wash. Shout out to
King Wash.
Yeah, King Wash played great at this broadcast.
Oh no, an instant jump 3. I don't know why he keeps doing that, especially on this level. And wow, what a good bait on the wake up. Already Predator with such a lead, and it's only going to get bigger. Going for the best meterless damage. Look at that, 355 without a single bar.
Okay, here's a start. An option for control in the corner.
Oh,
That's gonna work.
Oh no, he could have got a much bigger conversion, but he accidentally got a healing orb instead of a glyph, and so instead, Predator taking the first life bar. Now he only needs one more life bar to win the tournament and become the regional finalist, or the 4th place regional finalist for New York.
Nice air to air, and that is going to be a clean way to take the life bar. And it is all tied up. 1 extra bar for Predator.
Oh, and again, great use of that orb. There we go, getting the full trade. And wow, in trade, that was a lot of damage. And again, getting a full conversion.
He's getting as much damage as he possibly can here.
Oh, and that's going to be a full combo. Lands the back 3. That's going to be a very nice
Yeah.
amount of life.
How this ends.
So he's actually going less now for the fireballs when he sees that Predator's in the air and just going strictly for glyphs to knock him out of the air. And that should have been a huge punish.
Punishes him for trying to punish. This should be the kill.
And there it is. Beedon will reset your bracket.
Wow, so Beedon with...
Dr. Fate wins.
I mean, there were a lot of situations in there that Beedon was
I can
losing.
only imagine how fast his heart is beating right now.
Oh yeah, it's, I mean, he was so close to being completely out of it.
Yours is beating pretty
And-
fast. I know because I just touched your chest.
Yeah, that happens more than you all know. This is a... Yeah, it happens a lot. Somebody please call an adult. I need help. But that means that this is post-reset. There were a lot of situations where Beedon was completely losing in the zoning game, but he changed how he played it. So instead of throwing straight projectiles, as soon as he saw Predator go into the air
He would
full
just
screen,
build
he would
tanks.
he would either throw the
glyphs,
onks,
excuse me.
or he would throw the slow projectile, both of which would give him overall an advantage. But now it's back to 0-0, so that close set, that means that in winners finals, it was 3-2 Predator's favor. In grand finals, pre-reset, it was 3-2 Beedon's favor. Are we gonna see another 3-2 in somebody's favor? Who knows which? It could go either way. Obviously, these players are evenly matched.
And that was not ideal at all, as this life bar should be gone for Beedon, and it is.
No more Mr. Boy Scout.
Oh, that meter burn roll has not gone punished at all, and it's, oh wow, raw back 3. Yeah, this one is definitely looking in Predator's favor. He got him into the corner, didn't let him escape, and that's going to be another big bait. Wow, didn't get the full conversion, wasn't confident in himself.
Fate will bring you to justice.
This world needs my protection.
All right, so Beedon would have to do something crazy here. And the problem is this whole time he should be taking a decent amount of chip just because it's Superman. All right, uses the third onk to kind of launch his own pressure. And now he should get some nice, should get a nice conversion. More than enough to kill. Could have actually continued into the background bounce, but this background bounce is actually a very good spot for Beedon to be in. He could use it for a lot of extra damage. I think we'll see it right now, but
what a
bad drop.
Wow, and Beedon has been bringing this back slowly but surely.
Oh, and this should be a lot of damage. Going for the reset instead. Oh, no, not the reset. I don't know what that was. Jump 2 into Scoop alone. He could have done a little bit more, but now Predator, I mean, all he needed was that one opening and then one more set of chip. He's going to take the first game in the reset.
Superman wins.
And there really isn't much to say, except for that these players have adapted to each other so well over these past 11 games that we've seen from them tonight. I mean, that is a lot, and they're adapting. They've changed their play styles, both of them. And the one really impressive thing to me is how many different mix-ups we've seen Predator bring out. I mean, we've seen him go for the cross-up jump 2 a single time. We've seen him go for jump 2 into low laser a single time. We've seen him do, we've seen him do throw a good amount of the time just because that's always a safe one to go to. But overall, we have seen just so many different mix-ups. And that's stuff to do with Superman. Superman, of course, is it's a bit of a vanilla character. You know, he tends to go for the classic stuff. He tends to play really basic, but Predator, he knows the character. He's been playing it for a very long time, and he's taking advantage of all of his options. Nice punish, using the knockdown to get some glyphs, and one more glyph should at least give a little bit of chip.
That is the adaptation, though, that Predator has made. As soon as he sees the glyphs being built, he actually stops jumping completely.
Yeah, he's like, oh, never mind. I'm just gonna let myself drop and block, which is important.
nightmare.
Oh no, this is going to be a lot of damage. No, not spinning the meter. Oh, he is. He said he's using it for a mix-up.
Oh,
Wins
too
the
soon.
throw, but yeah, too early. And the meter burn forward 3 should get a lot of damage. Could have got a little bit more off of that had he realized that it juggled into the air, and a great option to throw back into the corner for Predator.
Hope you've learned something.
Why, yes, Clark, I've learned.
I love that music that plays. Dun, dun. Oh, great combo, and a little bit late in the combo to clash.
You cannot command fate.
On top of that, wow, 1 bar from both players, so no health is going to change.
Nice challenge. It's actually one of the first that we've seen.
Oh, using that for extra pressure.
And that is going to do it 1-1. What a grand finals to end the season on.
Yeah, I don't think we could ask for any better than this. I mean, if this went, I would be surprised if this didn't go to Game 5.
Yeah, I would also be surprised.
And that just shows how close they are. Such both solid players. I mean, we only get to see one of these two at regional finals. That's unbelievable.
Which is a total bummer, too. Because I would have loved to see CD Manny, Predator, and Beedon at regional finals.
That's true. And again, this was the region that was voted into the 10th week of the stream. And, you know, originally I was like, oh, obviously I wanted Chicago. There's a lot of Brainiacs,
Chicago
there's a lot
was
of cool
great,
players
Miami
there.
was great. I mean, there's really good regions overall. But
Alcatraz. But, yeah, this ended up being a great pick. So kudos to all of you out there who voted. And for those of you who didn't vote, you know what? It ended up working out.
yeah. Thank you for not
Thank you for not voting. But Game 3, post-reset, of course, as usual, 3 out of 5, and this should be a huge mix-up. What's it going to be? Oh, what a dirty bait. Didn't even need to use trait right there. Completely unnecessary. I guess it saved him from a back 3 or forward 3 meter burned, but still, huge lead. I mean, all these games now, as time goes on, they're becoming more and more lead-based. Originally, it was kind of staying close, but now it seems to be a lot that whoever gains that lead keeps the lead. Oh! I wonder if he could have got a projectile follow-up, instead choosing to just get a little bit more pressure. Oh, no, he could have glyphed right there for a punish. And still gets almost the trade. The laser didn't quite reach it.
This is still just about even, a little bit of a life lead and a bar advantage. But that is going to be tied up right now. In fact, it's now Beedon with the bar advantage, but he's got to be careful not to take too much damage from these lasers.
Oh, and that is a full, oh wow, didn't spend any meter, choosing to keep his meter for whatever options he has later.
Oh, he dashed over it. That was huge.
He dash punched over it. Oh, and a good whiff punish. Beedon's ability to whiff punish 4-2-3 has been immaculate.
It's been great.
So just as I was saying, one person runs away with these games. This is as close as it's getting down to the end of this. Beedon does still have Clash, but there's
got to be careful. Oh. This is a bad situation. Nice block.
Oh no, he dropped the combo.
Oh, and a miss input could potentially cost him the game here, and it is.
Wow, how unfortunate. That is the classic that you see with Superman. I mean, that is the Superman B&B, is accidentally getting Rising Grab instead of forward 2. And unfortunately also, they did just add more recovery if you do with it.
Yeah.
So it was more punishable. A lot of times, you know, you maybe be able to get away with it on accident because you recover so fast.
It was so hard to punish, right?
Yeah, no. So, I mean, unfortunately for Predator, I guess I should say, of course, very fortunately for anybody who doesn't play Superman, that recovery has been added. So that means, yeah, Beedon. That means potentially
This could be the last game.
He needs to win one more, but wow, back 2 not successfully anti-airing the jump 2 from Superman. That was one of the changes in the patch. Back 2 now has a hitbox that slowly rises from the ground. Not slowly, but over time rises from the ground, as opposed to just immediately being there. There's also sped up. Oh, that is death. Without it,
that is, wow. Devastating life bar for Kenetic Predator.
Oh no, could have got a much bigger punish. We've seen a lot of weird jumps from Beedon. I really want to know why we've seen them. And it seems to be always on this stage. We see him doing these weird neutral jumps. It's weird. Also, it's weird that we've seen this stage so many times tonight.
Yeah, specifically between these two.
That's true. But Beedon slowly starting to bring back the life. Predator, though, he's getting a lot of mileage out of just lasers.
I do love the avoidance here, though, from Beedon. Making it all count as he's brought it back. 3 bars for himself, 2, now 1 for Predator.
Oh, nice punishes because Predator didn't use the meter, and now this is getting a lot closer. Could have got maybe a little bit more of a punish, but still getting a good amount. The glyph didn't connect, so he's not going to be able to get that defensive option, and now the other 2 have disappeared. None of it working out for Beedon. Predator, I mean, counting his blessings, but oh, wow! He tried to meter burn back 3, but Predator had trade on.
Your power.
Not for long.
So Predator getting closer to evening this up. Again, no surprise if it goes to 5-5 here.
Nice air-to-air. And he is going to break before the back 3 comes out. 1 bar apiece.
And they are both going to spend 1. We've seen it before. Both of these players down to about the last half of their life. Oh, and these projectiles
These are not good traits.
Yeah, not for Beedon. They're
Beedon.
great for Predator. Oh, and the blast is going to be a full combo. That's going to mean 1 more setup for Beedon. What's it going to be? All right, just chooses to get a red gun, and this should be it. Doesn't drop the combo.
Beedon with a reset and a 3-1 victory over 4th placer, I should say, Kenetic Predator.
Wow, yeah, these matches went down to the wire for both of these players, fighting to see who makes regional finals for New York. So that will be the 4th spot, and that will end up being Beedon. But both of these players,
Prime is what they call him.
Nobody calls him that. Both of these players just played out of their minds, and including, of course, CD Manny, who played out of his mind until he realized that there was no chance left for him.
I think his heart was not into it anymore, yeah.
But regardless, the rest of the night looked amazing, as it did for all of these other competitors. Everybody looking great for New York, of course, the region that you all voted in, so great,
yeah, great choice, everyone. We were going to pick Chicago, so, which is another great region. But yes, congratulations to